Johnny Depp's big return to cinema with Terry Gilliam has officially reignited excitement among film lovers everywhere. After years of ups and downs in his career and personal life, Depp is stepping back into the spotlight in a way that feels both unexpected and perfectly fitting. And who better to guide his comeback than visionary director Terry Gilliam, a man known for creating worlds where reality and imagination blur together? For many, Johnny Depp has always been more than just an actor. He's been a cultural icon, someone who redefined what it meant to be a leading man. From Edward Scissorhands to Captain Jack Sparrow, he carved out a career built not on playing it safe, but on taking risks. That's why this collaboration with Gilliam feels so right. Both men have reputations for pushing boundaries, refusing to follow Hollywood's rules, and chasing stories that feel too strange, too daring, and too wild for the mainstream. Gilliam himself has a history with Depp that goes back decades. Fans will remember the infamous project The Man Who Killed Don Quixote, a film that became one of the most legendary unfinished movies of all time. Back in the late 90s, Depp was originally cast in the lead role, and production even started, but a series of disasters, floods, illnesses, scheduling conflicts, forced the project to collapse. That failure haunted Gilliam for years, becoming a symbol of the curse of unmakeable movies. And though he eventually resurrected the film in 2018 with Adam Driver instead of Depp, fans never forgot that the original Dream Team never made it to the screen. Now, more than 2 decades later, Gilliam and Depp are finally coming together for something new. For longtime followers of both artists, it feels like unfinished business. It's a reminder that sometimes, the stories we wait longest for are the ones that matter most. Details about the new film are still under wraps, but insiders describe it as pure Gilliam, surreal, strange, and visually ambitious. And for Depp, that's exactly the kind of role that fits him best. He's never been at home in generic blockbusters. He shines when he can disappear into odd, eccentric, unpredictable characters. Whether it's the mad energy of Hunter S. Thompson in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, the quiet sadness of Edward Scissorhands, or the playful chaos of Jack Sparrow, Depp thrives in worlds that feel just a little off-center. Gilliam builds those worlds better than almost anyone. This return isn't just about a new role. It's about reclaiming a place in cinema. For years, Depp's career seemed uncertain. After his legal battles and time away from Hollywood, many wondered if he would ever be welcomed back at all. His appearance in Jean du Barry earlier in 2023 was the first step, reminding audiences that he still had the magnetism and talent that made him a star in the first place. But this project with Gilliam takes things further. It's not just a cameo or a small part. It's a statement. For Gilliam, working with Depp again also says something about loyalty and unfinished journeys. Gilliam has always been an outsider in Hollywood, struggling to make the movies he wants to make without compromise. To finally reunite with Depp after all these years feels like a moment of artistic justice. Two rebels coming back together to create something the mainstream would never dare to attempt. Fans online are already buzzing with speculation. Will this be a return to the wild, unfiltered energy of Gilliam's earlier work, like Brazil or 12 Monkeys? Or will it be something entirely new, built on the maturity and perspective both men have gained after decades of triumphs and struggles? What's certain is that expectations are high. And because Gilliam rarely plays it safe, the end result will likely be unlike anything else coming out of Hollywood right now. For Depp personally, this film could mark a turning point. If it succeeds, it may open the door to more daring projects, more collaborations with directors who value creativity over conformity. It could be the beginning of a new chapter in his career, one where he steps back from the spotlight of gossip and controversy, and reclaims his legacy as one of the most original actors of his generation. It's worth remembering that both Depp and Gilliam have always thrived when people doubted them. Depp was once considered too strange to be a leading man, until Pirates of the Caribbean proved he could carry a blockbuster without sacrificing his eccentricity. Gilliam has been told countless times that his films were impossible to make, only to push forward and leave behind some of the most distinctive works in modern cinema. In many ways, this new project feels like the perfect storm, two artists with nothing left to prove, and everything left to say. As the cameras get ready to roll, one thing is clear. Johnny Depp's big return to cinema with Terry Gilliam isn't just about one movie. It's about resilience. It's about creativity refusing to be silenced. And it's about showing the world that some stories, no matter how delayed, are worth the wait. So, whether you've been following Johnny Depp's career since the 1980s, or you've only recently discovered his work, this is a moment worth paying attention to. Depp isn't just another actor making a comeback. He's someone who has built a career on risk-taking, on playing characters that often seem too strange to succeed, but somehow became unforgettable. For older fans who remember him from his breakout days in Edward Scissorhands or What's Eating Gilbert Grape, this feels like a return to form. And for younger audiences who might know him primarily as Jack Sparrow, this new collaboration could be their first chance to see him step into a role that is unpredictable and deeply original. When Johnny Depp and Terry Gilliam come together, you can be sure of one thing: the result will never be ordinary. Gilliam doesn't make safe films, and Depp doesn't deliver safe performances. Together, they have the potential to create something that is strange, bold, visually stunning, and impossible to ignore. That's why this project matters so much. It's not just about a movie. It's about two creative forces proving, once again, that cinema can be wild and daring when it's in the hands of true artists. Fans everywhere are watching closely, waiting for the next chapter to unfold. There's curiosity, there's excitement, and there's also a deep sense of anticipation that goes beyond ordinary film news. For so many years, the collaboration between Johnny Depp and Terry Gilliam felt like a story that had no proper ending. It was a chapter that began in the late 1990s with the doomed Don Quixote project, but it never reached the screen the way fans hoped it would. That sense of unfinished business stayed alive, not only in the minds of the filmmakers, but also in the hearts of the people who believed in their vision. Now, that unfinished story is finally getting the chance it deserves. For Gilliam, this reunion represents persistence, the idea that some creative partnerships can survive time, setbacks, and failures. For Depp, it signals renewal, a chance to step forward once again and show the world that he is not defined by the turbulence of the past, but by the roles and performances that continue to captivate audiences. Together, they're not just making another movie. They're giving closure to a journey that began decades ago. Johnny Depp's big return has officially begun, and it feels larger than a simple career move. It feels like the rebirth of an artistic connection that was waiting patiently for its moment to arrive. No matter what direction this film takes, it promises to remind audiences why they fell in love with cinema in the first place. Movies, at their best, aren't just entertainment. They are experiences that take us somewhere new, places we've never imagined, and moments we never thought we'd witness. With Gilliam behind the camera and Depp at the center of the story, that promise feels real.